Here are some reasons to why I will never go back to a normal keyboard again. Why choosing a split keyboard was probably one of my best decisions for a keyboard that I ever done. Let's take a look. Here I have my split keyboard. You've probably seen it in my previous video of typing. I will actually just make sure we can type as we want to. I will just do a quick overview of the keyboard in general. I'm using QWERTY to use a normal layout. The normal layout is the normal positions, right? I also have special layers. The special layers contains all of my special characters. So I have parentheses, I have square brackets, and so on. I have enter, space, shift, function layer, so on. This is kind of very custom to what I use. Let's take a look at some of the older keyboards that I have. Here is probably my first keyboard that got me into more custom keyboards in general. This is a very, very old, probably 10 years old or more Ducky keyboard. And this kind of spiraled a very, I don't know, either good or bad behavior of just getting more keyboards. So the next one I got, where I wanted to have a wireless keyboard. And of course, I started to take everything apart. I bought new switches, I bought new stabilizers. This is probably the part where I got annoyed with plastic keyboards and I wanted to have a higher quality one. This keyboard is probably like 2 or 3 kilos, I'm not sure. I had custom switches, looped switches, new stabilizers, padding in between to reduce the reverb. I've removed those switches by now, so this is probably bad switches in general, but we can take a listen. And I want you to kind of notice something by now. In general, when I'm typing, I'm quite uncomfortable typing in this keyboard right now because I'm kind of like just moving my elbows in. Everything is kind of like stretched for some reason. I didn't ever really think about this until I started to get pains in my pinky. And in general, I got that from playing games, holding down shift, control, and I started to just get pains in my pinky for some reason. So I just started to kind of read up on it, and I see a bunch of recommendations for split keyboards. It wasn't hard for me to get a new keyboard. I mean, I like buying keyboards, so I got a split keyboard. And this is by no means a recommendations to get a specific split keyboard. This is just the one I have. As soon as I got a split keyboard, I couldn't type. I was probably down at like 15 words per minute again. And I had to relearn how to type again. I already knew touch typing in general, but these keyboards were kind of different. You can see that they are not staggered, they are actually stacked on top of each other. So you kind of have muscle memories before where you would maybe press C with one finger because it was easier. But now because it's in a slight different place, you can't really use that same finger. One thing I noticed though, after like a couple of hours of using the keyboard, all of my pains kind of just went away. So my pinky didn't have any pain. My shoulders were kind of more relaxed while typing. And just in general, a better experience. So now I never really stretch for keys anymore. And if I do, it's a comfortable stretch compared to where you would have your pinky and you would go to a key here and you would do like this. And I instead have it mapped to something I can reach, which is kind of enjoyable to do instead. After spending so many years with keyboards in general, trying different ones, building specific keyboards, I kind of came to the conclusion at the end that I'm spending so much time at the keyboard, I don't want to have pains or aches in my hands or elbows or shoulders or anything like that. So I felt it was worth to try out this kind of split or very custom solutions. I would never go back to a normal keyboard again. I still have these ones just kind of like because I think it's a fun hobby. But yeah, after using a split keyboard, I have never been more comfortable actually sitting at a computer. But yeah, after testing all of the different solutions, my new hot take is probably I would never go with a normal keyboard ever again. I will always go to something like a split keyboard where I can actually space it apart, customize it so I never get any pain from actually typing again. But yeah, a very different video. Let me know if you liked it by writing some comments, I don't know. Or you can check the recommended video. Maybe that matches your, I don't know, viewing requirements better. Oh, you can subscribe. It's also nice.